Welcome to the Buddha of the Basin on a soggy Saturday. Crown and anchor. We do not dethrone Urizen, the hyper-analytical, anxious gatekeeper of the left brain, by arguing with him. We do it by cutting off his fuel. When you sit in a state of high beta stress, your default mode network acts as a tyrannical energy sink, guzzling cerebral blood flow to broadcast a non-stop radio of self-absorbed existential chatter. But ancient technologies like Yoga Nidra and Qigong are actually sophisticated neurovascular hacks. By intentionally routing conscious attention away from narrative loops and into the raw, holographic canvas of the body, we flip a physical switch. We systematically starve the ego circuit of oxygen, quiet the mind's internal static, and plunge into an intensely focused, non-conceptual flow state. This isn't passive relaxation. It is a biological reclamation of the present moment, re-engineering your neural highways from the bones up. Phase 1, the cross-lateral spark. The dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, striatum, and Blake's toe. To break the default mode network's monopoly on your attention, you must initiate a cross-lateral neural circuit that forces the brain's executive centers to fire in a completely new geometry. You begin with highly specific sensory ignition, forcing your breath through the right nostril, Surya Badana, while casting your gaze intentionally through your left eye, which is Drishti. Again, this is right nostril breath, left eye gaze. So you're going to activate the left hemisphere via this right nostril breath. But by casting your gaze with your left eye, you're also simultaneously activating the somatosensory cortices in the right hemisphere and getting that visual, that spatial awareness with the body awareness from the right hemisphere. Yeah, so this mechanical combination, you're also going to get a glutamate signal from and a 65% dopamine surge is going to be generated from, because this mechanical combination forces the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex to act as an intense cross-hemispheric bridge. The right nostril breath fires up the left brain's executive drive, while the left eye gaze eliminates the right brain's spatial nonverbal awareness. Simultaneously, you drop your conscious awareness down to the furthest extremity of the body, the right big toe. In his epic prophetic poem Milton, William Blake famously wrote that a multidimensional angel entered his body through his foot to wake him from his analytical slumber. Esoterically, the right leg embodies Netzach, victory on the Kabbalistic tree of life, the realm of Venus, flashing with deep blue light of the sapphire. Neurobiologically, when you target your raw attention on the right big toe, you ignite the deepest folds of the primary somatosensory cortex, which is Brodmann's areas 1, 2, and 3. Because your physical body is entirely still, this massive somatosensory signal causes the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex to fire an excitatory glutamate cascade straight into the ventral striatum. The striatum, acting as the brain's motor and reward gatekeeper, registers a depressed desire for action, but an immense influx of attention. The result, a profound, awake, and tranquil neural reward state, flooding your system with massive surge of endogenous dopamine. Phase 2, the left nostril break in interoceptive oxytocin. Once the dopamine engine is sparked, you transition to the counterweight, a long, slow, extended breath focused entirely to the left nostril, Chandra Bidana. This is the activation of Hod, or splendor, the principle of inner resonance and structured peace. So left nostril breath, right hemisphere. It's going to activate the interior insular cortex, which is going to register profound physical safety and send a signal to your paraventricular hypothalamus, which is going to flood your system with the interoceptive oxytocin. Air flowing slowly through the left nostril selectively activates the contralateral right hemisphere, completely dampening the linguistic self-talk centers. This ultra-slow breath signals your anterior insular cortex, the brain's hub for interoceptive awareness, that the external environment is perfectly safe. Questions. Can you get oxytocin, the bonding hormone, strictly from your own body? Absolutely. When the insula registers this deep self-attunement, it commands the paraventricular nucleus of the hypothalamus to release oxytocin into your bloodstream. This is the neurobiological signature of homeostasis. Your brain rewards self-directed attention exactly the same way it rewards a warm embrace from a loved one. You are flooding your own system with a chemical message of absolute safety, protection, and deep biological belonging. Phase 3, steering the sacrocranial ship to the crystal palace. With both the right and the left currents online, you have established the crown and anchor. Your body is now operating as a real, physical, intelligent bioplasmic engine existing on the electromagnetic and gravitational field lines of the Earth. The sacrum bone, literally the sacred bone, acts as a physical breastplate and battery of this ship. So we have the crystal palace, that's the third ventricle, the pineal gland. We have the cerebral spinal fluid acting as a pressure wave, sine wave. We have the Ida and the Pingala oscillators, the piezoelectric pump, the sacrocranial gateway, and the sacrum baseplate / battery. Bone is a highly structured crystalline lattice made of collagen fibers and hydroxyapatite crystals. Under the gravitational strain of static, Qigong alignment, or deep Yoga Nidra stillness, the sacrum undergoes piezoelectricity. It literally generates a localized electric current under mechanical pressure. Behind this bone lies the sacral plexus, the ultimate gateway of Qi or prana. As you breathe, the alternate currents of Ida and Pingala weave upward from this sacral battery. Visually and geometrically, they do not travel in a straight line. They form a perfect sine wave, mimicking the interlaced serpents of the caduceus, the staff of Hermes. This oscillating sine wave acts as a linear induction motor. It creates a mechanical craniosacral pressure wave that pumps cerebral spinal fluid upward through the spinal dural tube, aiming directly for the center of the brain. The ultimate destination is Plato's cave, known traditionally as Brahma's cave or the Crystal Palace. Modern neuroanatomy maps this as the hollow, fluid-filled cavity of the third ventricle. In an everyday state of awareness, the shadows on the wall of Plato's cave are the illusions, labels, and anxieties generated by the hyperactive default mode network. But as your cranial sacral sine wave reaches its apex, a tidal wave of highly charged cerebral spinal fluid forces its way into the third ventricle. This fluid surge applies mechanical shear stress against the pineal gland, which is coated in microscopic piezoelectric calcite crystals. The pressure literally turns on the lights in the crystal palace. The pineal crystals discharge an electromagnetic field that completely decouples the default mode network. The shadows vanish, the internal radio goes dead. You are no longer projecting your old anxious narrative. You are perceiving raw, unadulterated reality. Phase 4, dropping anchor into Shavasana and the acoustic geometry of Om. To fully digest this profound neurochemical transformation, a practitioner must know when to let go of the steering wheel. Once you have run these cross-lateral currents through the Yoga Nidra and channeled the bioplasma through Qigong, you drop straight into Shavasana, corpse pose. Lying flat removes all the gravitational load from the spine, allowing the sacrocranial ship to drop its sails. To seal the neural rewiring, you introduce a final deep vocal decompression. Inhaling fully, then slowly exhaling through the mouth to chant the primordial symbol of Om, A-U-M. This is not mere vocalization. It is a systematic downshifting of the brain's electromagnetic clock. So you do a full inhale, and then with your mouth, you do that's 80% of your oxygen goes out as a sound ah, which is lined up with your brain's alpha wave. When you're down to 18, 19, 20%, you shift to the ooh. I mean, this could be a more of a breathless, a breath ooh. And then when you're just about out of oxygen, you just tuck the lips together, close your lips and go mm. So it's ah, ooh. That's the faster way, but you can do it. It's something akin to that, except you're like so. So the ah is 80% of the air matrix. That's the alpha gateway. You open your mouth wide, expelling the first 80% of your breath volume on a resonant, warm ah. Neuroacoustically, this vibration stabilizes the occipital and parietal lobes. It shifts the brain out of the frantic high beta thinking and drops it directly into the calm, spacious alpha wave, which is 8 to 12 hertz cycles a second. The vibration of clear, conscious presence. The ooh, 18, 19% of the air matrix, the theta bridge. As the mouth begins to close, the tone morphs into a rounded hollow ooh, utilizing the next 18, 19% of your oxygen reserves. This physical narrowing shifts the acoustic frequency, vibrating the chest and throat cavities. This vocal resonance forces the brain to slide beneath the surface of conscious thought, downshifting into the subconscious theta wave. 4 to 8 hertz cycles. The dream state architecture where deep-seated emotional trauma and somatic tension dissolve. And the last micro drop of oxygen, the delta wave. Finally, the lips seal tightly. The final residual micro drops of oxygen culminate in a deep internal buzzing This closed mouth hum vibrates the skull's internal architecture, stimulating the auricular branches of the vagus nerve to send a massive parasympathetic signal directly to the brainstem. As the sound dies out into absolute silence, the brainwaves plummet into the slow rhythmic crawl of the unconscious delta wave state, zero point 0.5 to 4 hertz cycles. In the silent post-Om void, you hit absolute zero. The dopamine and oxytocin you cultivated are completely absorbed into your cellular tissue. You are no longer navigating, working, or striving. You are completely resting, completely awake, anchored firmly to the earth, the sovereign of your own body.